So I went to my local supermarket a few days ago to get myself some chicken liver because I wanted to, become more healthy. And while I was shopping, I saw a Muslim woman in a niqab with her little daughter. So this made me think about this thing that I've been thinking about for maybe a few months now. And this is the title of this video. So I think Muslim women are the most powerful sign of religion on earth. Now, this might sound a bit like a big claim to make, like something a bit exaggerated, and I don't think I'm exaggerating because I've been chewing on this for, as I said, quite a while. So let me start with men, and then I'll talk about women. So when you think about men, you think about a religious man, right? Especially in the Islamic context, you think about a man who has a long beard, right? So a man with a long beard, typically brown, you'd say, oh, this person looks Muslim. Why? Because they have a long beard, and some would trim their mustaches, like fully, maybe like with a razor. Some people just like trim it above the lip. You'd say that this man looks, Muslim. But if you look at other religious men, like Christians, Jews, Sikhs, right? They have they grow their beards out as well. Same thing. So it seems like this sign of religion or of Islam with a long beard isn't very specific. Like isn't 100% indicative of Islam, if that makes sense. Even though the Prophet ﷺ told us to trim our mustaches so that we look different, so that we're prideful for religion. There are communities like the Amish community, for example. They trim their mustaches as well, and they grow their beards. So it seems like not 100%, right? Clear that this is Islam or this person is Muslim. And a lot of men these days grow their beards for style. I see a lot of men on the street here in London. They have long beards, from all different ethnicities. And on that note, actually, about ethnicities, if you see someone who's not brown, like let's say a white man, right? You see this white man with a long beard, a Muslim wouldn't come to mind necessarily, right? And they might be Muslim, but you wouldn't necessarily think of Islam because they're white, right? So you're kind of guessing the state of their religion based on their ethnicity first, and then the beard sort of confirms it for you, right? Because if I was white, for example, or I was like Asian or something, like as in like East Asian, with a long beard, you wouldn't necessarily think about Muslim right away, right? Even if I had a fully trimmed mustache, right? On the other hand, let's talk about women now. But let me drink some water first because it's kind of hot here in London. It's boiling. There's a heat wave at the moment, and actually I'll talk about this in the context of Muslim women, about this heat. So Muslim women, when you see a Muslim woman, right, she's dressed in a hijab or in a niqab or in a burqa, whatever she's wearing, you would 99.99% know that this woman is Muslim. And this is why I'm saying that a Muslim woman is the most powerful sign of religion on earth, because she's a walking embodiment of the true religion, right, which is Islam. So, and this is not me hating on any other religion or anything like that, or throwing shade or anything like that. So this is not to be interpreted as a video sort of mocking other religions. I'm not. All I'm saying is this is a video about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's an appreciation post for Muslim women because they deserve it. So you see a Muslim woman, you know she's Muslim. Why? Because she's covering her hair. No other woman, I don't know, would cover her hair, basically, for no reason. You don't see that. Maybe in the past, because in the past, they were more modest and they used to cover their hair for a lot of different reasons, like maybe some, toxic chemicals in the air, whatever. And people were more religious in general. So even the Christian women, Jewish women, whatever, they would cover up, right? And maybe that was also part of their religion, but they're kind of not doing it anymore, because nuns do cover up, right? And I heard that Jewish women in Yemen, they also wear niqab, just like the Muslim women in Yemen. So sometimes it's a bit cultural, maybe it's religion inspired. I'm not really sure, but the point I'm trying to make is the majority don't do that in other religions compared to Islam, because Islam, the majority cover up, right? And on the other hand, if you see a Muslim woman who's not covering up, you wouldn't think she's Muslim, even if she was brown, because you would think like, oh, there are a lot of, brown atheists, agnostics, etc., right? So it seems like the hijab itself, or the niqab, they're a very specific sign. They're way more specific than the beard, in my opinion. And I think like of beards as equivalents to hijab, if that makes sense. Because a woman wears the hijab or niqab, and men wear the beard. That's kind of the equivalent look, or in terms of looks. So it's just very interesting, So I think the Muslim women are the true like ambassadors of Islam here on earth, and especially in Western countries as well. Because as I said, like I may be seen as a Muslim, I may not be seen as a Muslim. Who knows? Like it depends on the person. It depends on how presumptuous they are, right? And they might be correct actually if they thought that I was Muslim, but they might not be, because I might not be Muslim. But for women, no, like it's very, 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 very extremely unlikely for her to be not Muslim and cover up. Like, no way, right? So that's the whole point. I think they're like a sign of religion on earth, right? Like there you go, like that's a religious woman, you know what I mean? She's covering up. But a man with a beard, like I might be religious, I might not be. Might be the worst human being on earth with a beard, like it doesn't matter, right? So yeah. And this final part of the video, I just want to express my appreciation for our fellow sisters, and I genuinely think they deserve it. I don't think they hear it enough. They hear a lot of criticism, a lot of, criticism, yes. And I think this appreciation post is very much warranted. So I don't see a lot of niqabis here in London, because, London is not like the most religious place, let's put it like that. But I do see a lot of hijabis, obviously, and it's quite impressive, and I respect it, and I find a lot of pride as a Muslim man that, our women are like that. They're so modest, they're so elegant, they're so classy, as opposed to some other women. And this is not to say that, all the women that don't cover up from like non-Muslims are like necessarily bad. They might just not know what true modesty looks like. They might have been, raised in an environment where they thought, looking like that is classy, like looking or wearing like tight clothes and like that. So I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to talk about them. All I'm talking about is our women. And I find pride that our women are so modest, so elegant, so classy, so respectful, so graceful. And they look like the religious women of the past, They follow the good examples. And they do that to please their Lord. And this is what I love the most, because, a lot of people think that, oh, like a Muslim woman might be covering up to please her husband or anything like that. No. Like, you do that for Allah. You do that for God. Like, you're not pleasing anyone. I'm not pleasing anyone with this, right? And same for you. Like, you're not pleasing anyone with the modesty. You're pleasing Allah, then yourself, and then obviously if people are pleased, then they're pleased. If they're not, they're not. So I respect that a lot. Like a woman placing God before everyone else, that's very commendable, very respectful, and respectable. Yeah, respectful. So that's one. Two, in the heat here in London, this heat wave is actually crazy. Like, I'm literally drenched in sweat every day. I can't sleep. It's so hot, even with the fan on. So I struggle not to wear like short shorts and stuff like that, because haram, like I can't show my awra, I can't show my thighs. So I wear like, sweatpants, whatever, and I'm so hot, I'm boiling. Even though I'm like Arab, I'm originally from the desert, my DNA like was made for handling heat, With all of that in mind, I'm still struggling so much. So I can only imagine how much a woman wearing hijab, covering their hair, or a niqab, like everything, and especially if she's like wearing black as well, like that's insanely difficult. Like I would be boiling under that, right? And a lot of pathetic people who mock Muslim women say like, oh, why did you do that? Like, aren't you like so hot under that? Like, she does it to please God. She doesn't care about you or me or anyone else. And that's how it's supposed to be. God first before everyone else and anyone else. So that's very impressive. So that woman I saw a few days ago, like with the niqab with her little daughter, it's like, wow. And it was like a black niqab as well. Like, I don't see that often. Like, maybe back home, sure, but like here, very uncommon, and it's quite graceful. And you respect that woman because, you know, like, she respects herself. And it shows by the way she's dressed. She doesn't dress to impress. She dresses to impress, not impress, like, she dresses to please Allah. She doesn't dress to impress nobody's, right? And so that's very, very respectful. And also, I want to appreciate how they're constantly battling, you know, the peer pressure, the temptations. You know, as a woman, like, every single person knows that women love to be admired, to get attention, to be called beautiful. That's common sense. Everyone knows that. And when you see non-Muslims and how they behave, not all of them obviously, but a lot of them, you see the attention-grabbing behavior and attention-seeking behavior by the way they're like dressed over the top. In London here, you'd see women in winter wearing short shorts. Like, excuse me, like, I'm literally freezing right here. There's no way you're not cold. So you can tell. Like, I'm not gonna like make a new argument as like I'm making a discovery. Everyone knows that. So. And they do it, why? Because they want this validation, acceptance. They want to be seen as beautiful. They want to feel like they're important. It's a self-worth thing, self-esteem, all of that stuff. And then you see the Muslim woman, who's also a woman, so she also has the same natural instincts to be admired, to be called beautiful, to be all of that. And especially if she's single as well, she's not getting anything, you know, from haram relationships or anything like that. And she says no, and she still covers up because she respects. First of all, she wants to please Allah, and then she respects herself to not portray herself as something cheap. You know, nobody should look at her so, you know, easily. She shouldn't be accessible. Allah, God, did not make women accessible to men, and to other women for that matter. Like, if it's like extremely, you know, what do you call it? So I don't know, like revealing. So women are by nature precious, and they're not cheap, and they're not to be seen so easily by people, you know. And unfortunately, I think in the West and in a lot of different non-Muslim countries and places, women grew up learning that, you know, your worth is based on your looks and your body, and you should entertain the men essentially. And they think that they're being empowered, and they think that they're, you know, I'm looking beautiful and I'm using like my sexual allure to, you know, control these men or whatever. No, they're just seeing you as an object. They look at you and they enjoy what they see, and they leave. That's it. Unfortunately, it's very, very sad. And as a man, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see your beauty. I don't want to see anything else. I would rather see you respect yourself. Genuinely. Even though obviously within my nature as a man, like, I want to see beautiful things, but I have another nature which says that I would rather see a person respect themselves. And for women, our Muslim sisters, mashallah, may Allah keep them steadfast on their religion, they respect themselves. And I admire this so much, and I would rather see her not taking off that hijab or niqab, because, you know, I like that a lot. I like that she's leading a happy life. She has good self-esteem. She respects herself. She pleases her Lord. That to me is the best news, genuinely. So I love seeing women being empowered and being respected and being treated with respect. So yeah, another appreciation thing about Muslim women, they're not, you know, losing the battle due to temptations and wanting to, you know, take it off, and just like, especially if she's beautiful and she's covering up, like, she knows she's beautiful. If she takes that off, like, every man would, I don't know, be like basically dumbstruck. Like, every man would look at her like, wow, you know. But she knows that, and she still covers up. And even if she wasn't as beautiful, still same thing, right? Even the most like not so beautiful woman could still grab the attention of many men, you know. So all of them are struggling, not only beautiful women, but so that's the point. So it's battling that desire men usually struggle with averting their gaze, and even women, obviously, they do struggle with that. But I think women have a certain test, a very difficult test, to not show their beauty. But at the same time, if you pass this test, because Allah doesn't test you for nothing, because Allah is the most wise. He doesn't tell you just cover up just to cover up. It's not a silly religion here. This is a religion full of wisdom. So you cover up, your self-esteem goes up, your self-respect goes up, you stay away from haram, you stay away from abusers, you stay away from bad relationships. You lead a clean, happy life, and then you meet a good husband, and then you have a nice family. That's it. So yeah, especially this day and age with social media and all of these women, I don't know, the models, the ads, the Instagram influencers, whatever, all these people, even at gyms like here in the West, like it's mixed. So like the Muslim women who wear hijab, niqab, it's hard to train. Like it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I respect it a lot, and I thought I'd make this appreciation video specifically about this and about the point that they're the only sign, or like clear physical sign on earth that represents a religion, in my opinion. Yeah, I hope that was helpful, enjoyable, encouraging, and I'm sorry if I missed anything. And yeah, thank you for watching.